Today I want to talk to you guys about how I went from being a part-time window cleaner to full-time business owner. And there's a few things that you can do in advance to make sure that your jump from part-time to full-time is much healthier, much safer, much less risky. So let's get into it. I can still remember when I started my window cleaning business out in New York City. I had been working sales jobs and absolutely hating it, but I was pushing through nonetheless. I started putting out some flyers for window cleaning, built a website, had some Google reviews going, and did whatever I could just to get some traction going. Turned out I wasn't going to have enough money to get through the year, so I got offered a full-time job doing building maintenance, and I took it. We also, at this point, had already figured out that we had a baby on the way, and I didn't have insurance with the other stuff, so this new job gave me that security. It almost became a trap. I got that job and figured maybe I'll keep the website up just in case I can get some side cash. So for about 2 years, I worked a full-time job, and I would use every sick day, holiday, paid vacation, you get the idea. Every day I could, I would be working doing window cleaning. When that schedule filled up, I hired a friend of mine to work with me so that I could make more money. Over time, it got to where I didn't have any single day throughout the entire year free for myself. Now, the good news is when you get that busy, you have more money coming in. I was able to get out of debt from what I was in before. I was able to save up a little bit more money and really prepare a careful marketing plan so that when I would go full time, I'd be ready to really launch it off. I had planned to hold on a little bit longer before going full time with window cleaning. The ideal time is in the spring, and I was nowhere near spring. I actually put in my 2 weeks notice in September of 2016. I had had a daughter with special needs born, and I needed time to take her to surgeries. We had a lot of doctor's appointments saved up and had already gone through all of my sick days trying to work. So what was a man to do? I got my things together. I did a big direct mail campaign, and I launched in October of that year. The good news was I never had to look back. I got just enough money in that fall season to carry me through to the next spring. It was tight, it was lean, but I did what I had to do. Once the spring came around, I was able to get to where I was having a steady level of income where I was making much more than I was at the previous job. Eventually, I was able to get busier and make my first hire, and ultimately got to where I had about 3 employees together. And then when COVID hit, I sold it to 2 of them and moved out of town. When I moved to Texas, I got going all in from the get-go. If you ever want to hear about how to just go full-time window cleaning right off the bat, go ahead and comment below and say full-time first time. And that will give me a good indication that I can do a whole video about how to launch large. You really want to work very hard to establish yourself, your reputation, and your understanding of the business so that you can have the best shot possible. You should be getting as many reviews as you possibly can to give you that social proof. That's where they go online, they search for your business, and they find that you have loads of 5-star reviews on Facebook, on Google, on Yelp. Wherever they look, they can find your name with somebody else affirming that you're a good choice for them. If you haven't already built up a solid base of 5-star reviews, there's a few softwares out there. Nice Job comes to mind. It's what I use. But there's ways where you can get people to leave you a review by sending them emails or text messages. And if you haven't already asked them, it's worthwhile to go ahead and send out an email blast or text blast to all of your previous customers to hopefully get some 5-star reviews so that you're ready to go. You should also figure out a CRM that you're going to use to keep track of your customers. If you haven't already, there's a lot of them out there. I personally use Jobber, and I'll drop a link in the description. But find something so that you can track your customers and get them scheduled and remind them before you come to the appointment. You want to have already mastered your pricing so that you're not confused when you get started. You're going to have a lot more work coming your way and a lot more leads that you're going to have to handle. So don't wait till the last minute to figure out how you're going to do things. If you've been consistent and steady with your weekend work, you should be ready to go and have this dialed in by that point. Hopefully by now you can have figured out your ebbs and flows. There's seasonality in almost every single business out there, especially something like window cleaning. Oftentimes the winter can be dead depending on the region that you're at. Now maybe if you're in Arizona, you'd be the exception. But even here in Texas and on the West Coast where I was in San Diego, wintertime would always slow down significantly. Also, in the peak of the summer, typically sometime between 4th of July and Labor Day weekend, you're going to have some type of a slowdown. I've typically called it the summer slump or the summer slowdown, but it's just something that happens. If you've been able to get your customers' emails and their cell phone numbers, this will help tremendously when you get to those slow seasons because you can send them a text message, give them a call, check in on them, see how they're doing, ask if there's anything else that they need. You're going to be prepared whatever comes your way. Now, I would hope that by now you've maybe checked out some different add-on services or side gigs that you could include with your window cleaning. That makes it a lot easier to scale your numbers early on. If you only have 50 customers and they all have you clean windows, maybe you're getting about $200 a piece. You have $10,000 of revenue based off of that. What if you add gutter cleaning to each one of them? You could almost double your revenue right off the bat without getting any new customers. Every single add-on service that you do can add that potential revenue to your bottom line, which increases your profitability dramatically. I would also recommend that you maximize your time before you go full-time. Let's say you're working full-time like I did. I got to where I had every single weekend full, every single holiday full, and I hired somebody so that I could increase my capacity. Now, the benefit of hiring somebody to maximize your time is that you're going to be training them, and there's a chance that they may be able to become your full-time employee. If not, at least you have a stronger baseline that you're starting with so that you're going to be more likely to be successful. Maybe you could do $1,000 instead of $500 in a single given day. When you know that you're matching or beating your total take home at the end of a day working weekends compared to your full-time day job, you know you're going places. Now, before you jump, it would be wise and highly suggested to save up about 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. And that means covering your rent for your home, covering your groceries, covering your insurance for your vehicles, all the different things that you need month to month that you're paying for right now. You want to be able to cover 3 to 6 months in advance. And I would say if you're going to be launching in the spring, you can be a little bit more lenient on that. But if you're launching in the summer or later, when you're going to have to make it through the winter time, you want to have all the more saved up. In addition to your personal expenses, you're going to have more work expenses lined up soon. So make sure that you can have a little bit more of a nest egg that can cover your business expenses. You're going to want to have a marketing budget ready. There's lots of different ways to get new customers. I've done a whole video about it, but think about what you're going to do and save up the money that you need in order to do it. Obviously, there's cheap ways like going door to door or putting out flyers or door hangers, but then there's more time efficient ways that might cost a little bit more, but they can really catapult you closer to that full-time thing. I highly recommend Everydoor Direct Mail, the program that the United States Postal Service provides. And one resource that's really helped me to dial in my marketing campaigns is a YouTube channel called High Response Marketing. And he's got a lot of great things out there that will help you to have the most effective campaign possible. If you have anything else that you're still working on before you make the jump, maybe you just need to wait for that right season. The best season, in my opinion, would be early spring. Quit your job at the end of February, have your marketing pieces all ready to go and in the mailbox before you quit. Put in your 2 weeks notice and drop it off at the post office. Start fielding calls. Then you can hit the ground running come March. Usually that springtime is a fantastic time to launch your business full time, In the meantime, if you're waiting for that launch date to come, help yourself grow. Begin to educate yourself. Do as much research as you can, listen to as many audiobooks as you can, watch as many videos as you can. The stronger you are as an individual, the stronger your company can grow to be. Before you jump, I do want to give you one last reminder. It might be better to hire somebody than to quit your job. Hear me out. If you're able to hire somebody to go and field the jobs during the week while you're still in your office or doing whatever your day job is, you're going to be able to grow that much faster. Number one, you've already done the first hurdle most guys run into, delegating responsibility. If you're hiring them, then when you do quit your full-time job, you can have somebody else out there who's doing the work and you focus on selling and hiring the new guys and training them to do the work. If you do that, you will be at such an advantage. I can't even begin to explain how helpful that would be for your long-term growth. But maybe you're more like me and your back is pinned against the wall and you have to do something now and just jump. Whatever you've got to do to figure things out, there's hope for you. I did it, many others have done it, and chances are I'm not as smart as you are, so you have a lot of potential. Just remember, the only way that you can fail is if you give up, and if you don't give up, you won't fail. My name is Ben. I own Blue Ladder, a window cleaning company out here in McKinney, Texas. It's the third company that I've started cleaning windows, and I'm in the middle of scaling it. The first one was a dud. The second one I sold prematurely, and this one I'm hoping to scale to be a little bit larger and have a good team around me. So if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me, and I want to do everything I can to help you as we both try to win this thing together.